The story of Muslims in America did not begin in the 17th century with the arrival of enslaved Africans. Long before Jamestown and Plymouth Rock, Muslim explorers, traders, and navigators sailed the Atlantic. These intrepid individuals, hailing from Africa and the Iberian Peninsula, played a role in shaping the early encounters between the Eastern and Western hemispheres. Their stories, though often overlooked, are an essential part of understanding the rich tapestry of American history. Imagine a world without accurate maps, a time when the vastness of the Atlantic held both promise and peril. Muslim cartographers, drawing on centuries of seafaring knowledge, created maps that helped guide European voyages of discovery. These maps, often incorporating Arabic astronomical calculations, were instrumental in expanding the known world. They stand as a testament to the intellectual contributions of Muslims during the Age of Exploration. One compelling piece of evidence pointing to a Muslim presence in the Americas before Columbus is the Piri Reis map. This Turkish map, dating back to the early 16th century, depicts the coastlines of South America and Africa with remarkable accuracy. While its origins and interpretations continue to be debated, the Piri Reis map serves as a powerful symbol of the interconnectedness of our world and the contributions of non-European cultures to our understanding of history. The stories of these early Muslim explorers remind us that the history of America is not a simple narrative of European colonization. It is a complex and multifaceted story, shaped by the interactions of diverse cultures and peoples over many centuries. As we delve deeper into the annals of the past, we uncover hidden chapters that challenge our assumptions and enrich our understanding of the American experience. The transatlantic slave trade, a dark chapter in human history, brought millions of Africans to the shores of the Americas in chains. Among these enslaved people were many who carried with them the Islamic faith. Ripped from their homelands and stripped of their freedoms, these African Muslims faced unimaginable hardships. Yet even in the face of oppression, they clung to their beliefs and traditions, leaving an enduring legacy on American soil. The Middle Passage, the brutal journey across the Atlantic, was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Enslaved Africans, crammed into overcrowded ships, endured disease, starvation, and unimaginable cruelty. For Muslims, this journey presented a unique challenge: how to maintain their religious practices in the depths of such suffering. Despite the lack of proper spaces for prayer and ablution, enslaved Muslims found ways to observe their faith, whispering prayers, fasting when possible, and sharing stories from the Quran. Upon arrival in the Americas, enslaved Muslims were dispersed across the colonies, their fates intertwined with the fortunes of their enslavers. Some found themselves on plantations, laboring alongside fellow Africans from diverse backgrounds. Others were sold to urban households, where they served as domestic workers, skilled artisans, or even trusted confidants. Despite their varied circumstances, enslaved Muslims faced the constant threat of religious persecution. Their enslavers, often driven by a desire to erase African identities and prevent uprisings, forbade them from practicing Islam openly. Despite these challenges, enslaved Muslims found ways to resist cultural erasure and preserve their religious heritage. Secret prayer gatherings, the passing down of Islamic knowledge through oral traditions, and the subtle incorporation of Islamic customs into daily life became acts of defiance. These acts of resistance, though often hidden from the historical record, speak volumes about the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The lives of enslaved Muslims were marked by both hardship and resistance. Stripped of their freedoms and forbidden from openly practicing their religion, they found subtle ways to maintain their faith and cultural identity. Through oral traditions, secret gatherings, and acts of quiet defiance, they ensured that Islam would not be extinguished in the New World. One of the most powerful forms of resistance was the preservation of knowledge. Enslaved Muslims who had memorized portions of the Quran or learned Islamic teachings in their homelands became invaluable sources of religious guidance. They would gather in secret, often under the cover of darkness, to share their knowledge and offer words of comfort and hope. These clandestine gatherings served as beacons of light in the darkness of slavery. The act of naming also became a subtle form of resistance. Enslaved Muslims often gave their children Arabic names, a practice that allowed them to hold on to a piece of their heritage. Names like Bilal, Fatima, and Omar became quiet acts of defiance against the forced assimilation of slavery. They served as reminders of a rich cultural heritage that transcended the boundaries of chains and plantations. The stories of enslaved Muslims who resisted their captors through open rebellion also deserve recognition. Figures like Abdulrahman Ibrahim ibn Sori, a Fulani prince from West Africa who was enslaved in Mississippi for over 40 years, remind us that resistance took many forms. Ibn Sori's escape attempt and subsequent advocacy for the abolition of slavery stand as powerful testaments to the indomitable spirit of those who fought for their freedom. The perseverance of Islam in America, despite the horrors of slavery, speaks volumes about the power of faith and the resilience of the human spirit. Through acts of resistance, both large and small, enslaved Muslims ensured that their presence would not be erased from the annals of American history. Their stories, though often untold, are an integral part of the American narrative, reminding us of the enduring legacy of slavery and the importance of fighting for justice and equality.